But based on the example, again, I gave you, if you look, the countries in which women are in charge of the states, are the head of the states, in terms of well-being and happiness, they seem to have a better index than countries in which men are the head of the states. Now, the sensitivity of motherhood and the role motherhood being more close, right, to the family, to the society, the guardian of the family, the guardian of the tradition, who is always interested in the well-being of the other ones before they even care about themselves. You see, all those facts might be the reason why they are more interested in taking care of a society, the society as a whole, and not focusing on just like political aspect and economic aspect, you see, or what they can get out of it.
All right, Dr. Aliou, I have a question for you. Before I ask the question, I'm going to make a simple analogy like this. You see, in my tradition, in fact, there is the belief of many people there. I'm from Uromi, I'm from Esan, I'm talking of Esan tradition, but of course, the one that I know, that there is a possibility that when a man dies, he can, if a man is having a bad spirit, he can come to hurt the children, the family. In the midst of all this confusion, there is also the idea that there are both men and women spirits. Now, it is believed that the women's spirit are more gentler than the men's spirit, meaning the men's spirit are more violent sometimes. So what I'm trying to drag at here, is it possible that we should actually be giving more role? Because now you talk about the society, because they are the guardian of the society for this reason, that they might be more, they might do better job, because we need people to do better job in the position there. Now, I'm still thinking that even from the point of view, looking at it from a spiritual point of view, it is even believed that the female spirit are better than the male spirit. So that is anything we can actually take from the. Okay, now let's look at it from cultural point of view. Culturally speaking, is there anything that explains that women can do better job than men in terms of leadership? I want to limit it to that place before I get it confusing.
But think about this. Even in ancient time, who take care of the kids, the babies? It's women. In ancient time, when human beings were hunters and gatherers, right? Women, the cohort of women, they were the one who were always taking care of the little babies and kids and all that with them. Men as hunters and gatherers used to walk alone as a cohort of men, right? Without babies or young teenagers or anything like that. Meaning this motherhood is something that is innate. It's the essence of women. Think about it. You have a proverb saying, you educate a woman, you educate a whole family, or you educate a whole society. You educate a man, you have educated just one man. I mean, you see, the selfishness, if I can call it like that, man is, everything is like for him, what he can be, what he can get, what he can control. When women, right, by essence, has been the one who take care of the younger ones, meaning the weak ones, the weak ones, right? The ones who can't protect themselves. She has always been the one who educate, right? She has always been the one who discipline. She has been the one who nature. A little boy, little girl, you got hurt, you run to your mom, go run back to your mom. And whatever she was doing, she will drop it and take care of you. She heard you crying. She's the one who's going to come out. You see what I'm saying? All that are part of what is a woman. You see, it's just like male dominance-oriented societies is more selfish. Now, look about all our African politician leaders. Since Africa became independent to now, most of our leaders have been men. How many of them really work for their own African countries? How many of them is still African and African wealth? How many of them after that, with their families and all that, run away and let these African societies and people suffer? So far, yes, we can say we did not have a women. Okay, beside the case of Liberia, right? We did not have a large number of African female as head of a state for us to be able to compare or see what would happen to their countries, right? But that's why I borrowed this Scandinavian female head of state's case, or the case of New Zealand. You see, at least their countries seem to be more in the right direction. Now, when I say right direction, I'm talking about in terms of well-being and happiness. I'm not talking about economic development. Because what economic development means, if people are not seeing it, what economic development means if people are not eating? You see what I'm saying? What economic development means if people are not in peace? You see what I'm saying, right? That's kind of like, that's where the issue is. That's where the issue is. Then it's kind of like we need a heavy, profound change within these African societies or these African political societies in order to allow African women to play key role. Now you're going to say, yes, you have some state, they talk about parity, wherever you have a man, you have a woman, and so and so. But that mean having the numbers mean really allowing African women to play the major role they should play and they could play in our African societies. You see, numbers, it's good, but can we translate the numbers into reality? Yes, you're going to say a place like Rwanda or a place like Senegal where they talk about political parities and all this kind of stuff. But is it really translated in what it should really mean and how it really should be? You see, and how are we going to make that happen? If our African leaders are all interested in maintaining themselves in power, someone who's interested in maintaining himself in power, I don't think that person will be ready to expand the political sphere to allow some other groups that has always been marginalized to get in. You see how it's going to happen. And if you look our African politicians, when always they talk, they're not talking about gender equality. They're always talking about how the one who is in place should be removed for them to come in place. That's why every time you see how people manipulate the constitutions, every president who can manipulate the constitution in order to allow himself to have one extra mandate, if they do not change the whole constitutions to be able to stay in power for longer. You see, power sharing, it's a major problem, and it's a male problem, I'm going to say.
It's true. It's a male problem. Yeah, that is true. You see, I want to thank you for that, for the explanation to this last few questions related to women. Of course, it is to show that it's not that we are just here trying to please the women for nothing, because they really deserve it. We are talking about what they have done. You know, you are not mentioning, you are not transforming somebody who haven't done anything to be married, to merit something, because they did it actually.